Despite the fact that the two of them co-starred on the enduring sitcom The Golden Girls, Bea Arthur reportedly didn't like Betty White. Joel Thurm, a former casting agent, says in his recently published memoir, Sex, Drugs and Pilot Season, that Arthur and Rue Blanche Devereaux McClanahan felt White's conduct toward Estelle Getty, who played Sophia on the show, was very unkind. Betty would act out of character and keep the audience laughing when Estelle would forget her lines by pointing to Estelle and making a gesture with her thumb to her mouth, as if she had been drinking, according to Thurm. Thurm recalls that in 1999, he hired Arthur to play an inflated version of herself in the Showtime series Beggars and Choosers, and claims that off-camera, Arthur referred to White as a CT. Nevertheless, he adds, whatever differences these women had privately, they never interfered with the show itself. Additionally, he doesn't think White was deliberately making fun of Estelle, but rather trying to keep the audience laughing between takes. Thurm also discusses his interactions with other Hollywood celebrities, such as the Brady Bunch's father and the mom from Ozzie and Harriet. Additionally, Robert Reed, aka Mike Brady, played Travolta's father in the film. Reed, according to Thurm, turned out to be a royal pain in the ass because he felt undervalued on the set. He adds that Reed was displeased with having to work around Travolta's schedule and describes Travolta as sulky, curt, and made it all too clear that this job was just a paycheck to him. Thurm once followed Reed after he stormed off set and into his dressing room to apologize. At the age of 59, Reed passed away from AIDS in 1992. Thurm also remembers a sexual encounter he had with his giant star crush Rock Hudson, whom he had met at a party in the early 1970s. He writes that his being gay was an open Hollywood secret. Rock kept turning to look at me, so I started doing the same to him. I followed him up the stairs after he motioned with his head to follow me. However, Thurm was overcome by the chance to share intimate moments with his childhood hero. Years later, Thurm met Hudson for a meeting while working at NBC as a casting director, but the Pillow Talk star didn't recognize him. Thurm claims to have occasionally witnessed the Hollywood casting couch in action, such as the time an actress made fellatio to him and two producers, which was politely declined. He writes, I was appalled and would never deal with them professionally again when certain agents and casting directors boasted to me about the actors with whom they'd slept in exchange for preferential treatment. The late J. Michael Bloom, who represented the early careers of numerous big stars, including Tom Hanks, is listed by Thurm as one offenders in his rogues gallery. Unknown powerful agent would host lavish gatherings with a select group of his friends and a large number of attractive young men. According to Thurm, this guy would invite his friends to have their ways with the passed out young man if one of these young men passes out due to alcohol or drugs. Additionally, he cast the 1980 parody movie Airplane, which featured Barbara Billingsley from Leave It to Beaver fame as a jive-talking elderly woman in a scene that was wildly offensive but hilarious. Billingsley was cast in the part, and she later claimed that it had a greater positive impact on her career than Beaver ever had. Meanwhile, the Muth of Ka line was never included in the final version.